Okay, hello and welcome to the video. My name is Wade Smith. And what's prompted this video is the way keyboard warriors um who are ignorant of real martial arts insult and belittle 10th degree black belt experts that I know are real experts and are not paper black belts. And I would like to prove that they actually know what they're talking about. And from my personal experience, I'm officially a first Q because I kept failing the kata portion of my black belt testing back in the day because I'm not a dancer and I don't have a perfect flawless memory, and I kept forgetting Sun Tzu kata. And that's the only reason I failed my black belt test. In terms of fighting ability, I was really fighting at more like third, fourth, fifth degree black belt skill level, because since they would put me against two second degree black belts at the time, and I could beat both of them with a combination of jiu-jitsu and striking in a handicap match. I'm not talking about one after the other. I'm talking about simultaneously. And you're like, how is that possible? Because, like, for example, a Gracie Jiu-Jitsu black belt that I told the story to, although she was doing women versus women grappling and sparring, she thought I was lying, and she's like, "That's impossible." And I'm like, you just suck. Um, when I fight, the first thing that's going to happen is if somebody throws a punch or kick at me, I'm going to get them in a lock immediately. Immediately. It's not a question of if, it's a question of how fast it's going to happen. And if somebody tries to shoot in on me, they're going to get knee striked or kicked straight in the jaw and knocked out. And I have honed those defensive skills to prevent those moves from ever working against me. You might get a lucky leg kick on me, but 9 times out of 10, I'm going to leg check a leg kick. I'm going to leg check a groin shot. Uh, you're not going to get a liver shot on me because I know to protect my liver above all else as far as body blows go. I'm not going to get hit by simple stuff, especially not a one-off. You're going to have to throw combinations of 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 punches and kicks to even land one against me, because that's how defensive I am, and I'm not going to get hit by that stuff. Especially on level terrain, much less, if I was fighting on terrain, I'd actually be in an advantage. But on level terrain, the only way you're going to get me is if your buddy hits me in the back of the head with a beer bottle. Is the only way you're going to hit me, because I was trained by a real Marine Corps 4th degree black belt, and he actually had multiple black belts. He had a 4th degree black belt in Isshinryu, a 2nd degree black belt in Shotokan karate, 4th degree black belt at the time. Now he's a 7th degree black belt in Japanese jiu-jitsu, and a 1st degree black belt in Gracie jiu-jitsu, and he was also max level in Krav Maga. So his training and experience was vastly above anyone I've ever heard of. And that was my sensei, and he literally taught me everything he knew. And again, the only reason I kept failing the black belt test is because I don't have a perfect memory and can't memorize Sun Tzu kata. For people who do take Isshinryu karate, the problem with Sun Tzu kata is some portions of it are sort of a patchwork of the other katas, and that's what was confusing me. I would get that portion of that kata mixed up with another portion of the other kata that it's similar to, and that would cause me to screw up. And it takes apparently a year or two of practicing to memorize the darn thing. And by then I had to quit for personal reasons back then. But my own training is 6 total years of Isshinryu and Japanese Jiu-Jitsu. The first year and a half was 3 hours per week, and then the next 4.5 years was 15 hours per week of training. And then more recently, I've trained for a year and a half in Gracie Jiu-Jitsu, which, all right, let me do everybody a favor. There's literally nothing in Gracie Jiu-Jitsu that you aren't already taught in Japanese Jiu-Jitsu. Nothing whatsoever. So don't waste your money. You're better off in the karate and Japanese Jiu-Jitsu class than you are in a Gracie Jiu-Jitsu class. Because the Gracie people never throw strikes. They never practice their striking. Whereas what I studied was a totally rounded combat system of both striking and grappling. And I don't believe that I'm high-minded when I say this. If most MMA fighters that are in, because I'm supposed to be 185 pounds if I wasn't type 2 diabetic, but most MMA fighters in the 185 to 205 weight classes, if I fought them in a real no rules fight, I would seriously injure them in short order. They would either get tapped out instantly or they would get seriously hurt. And I'm not saying that being high minded. I'm saying that as the God's honest truth, that I laugh at how incompetent they are sometimes in their fighting, because it's like you caught that guy's kick by the ankle and you did not put an ankle lock on him. What the hell are you doing? Do you not know an ankle lock, or are you just that bad at ankle locks? Same thing for a wrist. You caught that guy's punch and didn't put a wrist lock or an arm bar on him. What the heck were you thinking? I kid you not, when I read the old version of the World Unified Rules of MMA, they originally had wrist locks banned because it said that they wanted to artificially extend the fights beyond 10 seconds. That used to be written in the World Unified Rules. They've changed it more recently. But Ramsey Dewey, the judge, denies that. But I know, because I read it with my own eyes, that it specifically said that the purpose of the rule was not a safety issue, that they just wanted to artificially extend the fights beyond 10 seconds. But people think Sean Strickland and Israel Adesanya are good fighters, and I swear to God, I could damn near beat them in a handicap match.